Hello, folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our book for today is The Borrowed by Chan Ho-Kei. Now, this is the Hebrew translation that was translated from the English translation to this book. This book is originally in Chinese. The translator is Hadassah Handler. I'll leave her name on screen. And it's by Selas Farim Publishing. It says really when I don't think I've heard of it before. Okay. So this is one of those books that I started last year. I read a little bit into and then dropped it. And this year I finally went back to it. I started reading it in April of last year. I read really just a few pages in and that was it. I don't know why I dropped it even. Because it was interesting from the beginning. But anyway, I picked this up again this month and finished the whole thing. So this isn't new. This came out in 2014. Holy shit. Quite a long time ago already. So this is a series of 5 stories ranging from 2013 to 1967. It's all on, and it surrounds these mainly 2 characters of Quan Chan-duk and Sunny Locke. I apologize if I butchered their names. For foreign names you see here we have Nikud. It tells you how to make the pronunciation proper, but I've never learned to read with Nikud, so it just confuses me. I don't know what it means. So, yes, my apologies. So yes, it's 5 stories, and we keep like going back in years until we get to 1967. So. And it's interesting that it's going back it's going first to the future and then going back to the past, which was interesting. And I loved how the stories just go back full circle. Oh shit! I forgot to say spoilers. Can't believe I forgot that. Ah fuck. Oh well, I'll add a warning in the beginning since I'm stupid. Right. And my apologies. Oh well, I guess I didn't spoil too much yet, but still. Yes. And I won't go too much to what's in each story, just wanted to talk about this. So we have Quan Chan-duk. He's this really good detective or commissioner. He used to be a commissioner. And it's kind of like Sherlock Holmes, where he makes these deductions based on information, which is probably why I love this book so much, because I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. So this was right up my alley. So in the first story, Quan Chan-duk, he's dying. And a family is asked by Sunny Locke to come to his mentor's hospital room. So Quan Chan-duk was Sunny Locke's mentor for years. He taught him a lot of things and how to make deductions, and Sunny himself is quite talented as a detective. And the first story, Quan Chan-duk has unfortunately cancer, stage 3 liver cancer, I believe it was, and he's dying. And you can say Sunny kind of in a sense uses that to catch the real killer. His family comes over. The father of the family was murdered, and he finds out it was the secretary of the family and a loyal friend. He was the one that manipulated one of the man's sons to kill him. So yeah, he's quite on level with Quan Chan-duk, this guy. And then in the last story, it comes full circle because apparently Kwan met him way back in 1967. And they went on, you could say, on a mission to stop a bombing. There's a bit of history in this book. There's even an afterword from the author on how the police was seen in Hong Kong in 2013. Obviously, I don't know anything about that, but kind of interesting I loved how it came full circle. Because I thought, as I began reading the last story, I thought that the narrator was Quan Chan-duk. That we were gonna finally, not finally, but see how he began working in the police or something. Because in each story later, we see his interactions with Sunny. Because each time it goes a few years backwards. But then when I got to the end of the story, the narrator, the policeman he worked with to stop this bomb, was actually Quan Chan-duk. Because he later asked for him, and then this guy was the murderer from the first story. And I'm like, holy shit. It's just because of how well this guy, the narrator, made deductions that I was sure it was Quan. But now knowing who he is, it makes sense, because he's quite good at the manipulations and everything. And oh boy, he turned out to be an evil bastard in the end. That one. But yeah, that was that was very enjoyable. All of the stories are all very interesting. The last two were ones where we no longer had Sunny with him because, the fourth story, I'm pretty sure Sunny wouldn't have been in the police, or maybe would have been in the police academy at the time. Because he started working for the police when he was 20. So, yeah, I assume he was probably in the academy, and then the last story, maybe he was still a kid. Because, yes, as you understand, Quan is significantly older than Sunny. But, yes, so that's how the stories go. Yeah, it wasn't just the detective work that was really interesting. It was also the descriptions of Hong Kong at the time, and also the political environment and how things were between the British there and the Caucasians and then the people of Hong Kong. Now I'm pretty sure this is accurate, but I didn't know that the British controlled stuff in Hong Kong too. Well, I guess I should have realized because it was the same thing in here before Israel was founded, before our country was founded. Because we have the Mandata Briti, the British Mandate. So I guess I should have, because Britain colonized a lot of places, a lot of countries. So I guess I should have thought of that. But yeah, that was interesting. The tensions, how things were, the worry of the police that the people don't trust them. Apparently, in that year, in 1967, things were really bad. And at the afterward, the Mr. Hawkeye is wondering if they'll recover from this. And I do wonder if they did, because again, this was written in 2014. In 2013, he says there was, again, a lot of trouble. So I wonder how it is today. Is it still bad, or has it improved? So yeah, overall, this was a really enjoyable book. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I do wish, though, I've read it in English, because I think some things would have been easier. Because, again, in English, you have capital letters for names. In Hebrew, we don't have that. And then sometimes it confused me when reading names of people. The Chinese names. So yeah, just I definitely want to reread this book again in the future. I'm gonna buy it in English, and I'll reread it Cause I really loved it. It's like with Sherlock Holmes. I can reread Sherlock Holmes a lot of times. I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. And I think after this, I think I'll check out more books from Mr. Hawkeye because this was good. He has more books. I kind of wish there was also more maybe stories of Quan Chan Duke and Sunny together. Maybe some more investigations they've been a part of. That would have been very interesting. But I'm pretty sure this is the only book. This is a standalone. And I mean, I would have told you if it was a series. But yeah, this is a standalone. But I'll see. Maybe there's something more. So the afterword is quite interesting because he said he didn't want to write one, and this whole thing started when he was trying to write a short story for a contest for I think detective stories. It said. So yeah, this was great. I would highly recommend you give this one a read if you like detective stories. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. It's a good book. Yeah, good stories. And if you like Sherlock Holmes, I think you might enjoy it because Quan makes a lot of deduction work. And when you read it, it's like with Sherlock, sorry, you're like, holy shit, how did you figure that out? And then he tells you, and you're like, holy shit. The same. I do wonder if Chan Ho-Kei has read Sherlock Holmes. Doesn't mention it, but I do wonder. Hmm. All right, so that's it, folks. Just some short thoughts on this. Again, I don't want to go into Dave's story, but read those for yourselves. But I didn't want to talk about it because the third time this was great, awesome book. So yeah, give this a read if this kind of thing interests you with detectives or you like Sherlock. I think you'll enjoy it. And that is it. Let me know down below if you've read this one or you read any books by Chan Ho-Kei. Do you have any recommendations? And that is it. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!